Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to take you behind the scenes of my song analysis and pre-production process. Recently I've made a short remix of Taylor Swift's Anti-Hero, which you can hear on my social accounts. This project will help us to dive into the two crucial aspects of music production: song analysis and pre-production. In this video, I'll break down my thought process around the remix of Anti-Hero because it's such a famous song. It'll be really easy for you to see what I did. When listening to a new song, I analyze it based on several details. These can be categorized into two main groups. The first group I call songwriting, and the second group I put as building blocks. When I talk about songwriting, I'm looking at the song's melody, the song's lyrics, if there are any, the harmony, the chords being played, and the overall mood of the song. When I'm talking about the building blocks of the song, I'm looking at the song's structure, the song's tempo, BPM, the key of the song, and the overall production. For Anti-Hero, the songwriting is solid. It has a catchy melody and deep, sincere lyrics. These lyrics might not be your thing, but you will agree with me, they're still better than something like the Macarena, for example. The harmony is standard, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes that's all you want. However, one thing I didn't find right in that song is the general mood. I feel it's a bit static and it doesn't really ebb and flow with the lyrics as much as I would like it to. I wanted a groovy feel, kind of like Chic's Good Times. So I started with a 4 on the floor kick pattern to set the foundation. Next, I wanted some solid groove. Over the years I've learned that the right synth bass can go a long way doing very little. So I additioned a few sounds. Here are my analog synths, and initially I was trying to use the Model D, which clones a classic Mini Moog sound, and I think it sounded something like this. Which was okay, it was nice, it has a lot of body, but it didn't have enough fun to it. Maybe it's a bit too big, so 1 second, I'll switch it off to this one. Okay. And this one is the Pro 800, it emulates, it clones the Prophet 600. So, let's see if it's the same range. Yeah, I've made it a bit crazy. So it sounds like this. Which is nice, but if we're comparing it to the Juno, for example, which sounded like this, you see what I mean? It has a bit more fun to it. In order to slightly shake it off, sorry Taylor, I bumped up the tempo from 97 BPM to 105 BPM. It might not sound like a lot, but it really does change the vibe of the song. To add some upbeat feel, I threw in some clap sounds on the downbeat. It was working well, but I still felt it was a bit thin and perhaps even a bit stagnant. It's a common practice to record real hi-hats and cymbals when you work with a programmed beat in order to make it sound a bit more realistic, which is what I originally went for in here. But I also wanted the snare to sound realistic, which you can achieve by layering multiple snare samples on top of each other. But instead I just thought I wanted a real organic sound in here, so I recorded both a real hi-hat and a snare drum. With my basic beat sounding solid, I decided to add a live bass part. Layering basses can be a tricky affair. They can mask each other out, or there could be some phase cancellations. So one approach I always like taking when doing something like that is to have complementing bass parts that work together as a team rather than just stacking up the exact parts on top of each other. Moving on to guitars, I started simple by playing the original chords. I tried different accents until I found one that added a bit of swing but left space for other elements to come. The basic chords of the songs were okay, but I really wanted more. I was inspired by some classic riffs that Nile Rodgers used to play, so I added some jazzy tensions like sixths and sevenths and ninths to make the voicings richer and more interesting. And to make it groovier, I layered the funky guitar part. This added a hint of melody to the chord structure and gave the track more depth. Something about the overall texture of the existing track I had, maybe the Juno bass sound, gave it a slight 80s funk vibe, so I added the classic synth stab, known as a synth brass, for a call and answer effect. Finally, I extracted Taylor Swift's vocal stem using Logic and replaced it with the Weeknd's vocal on lalal.ai. And here is how the final mix sounds.
It's me, hi, all the problem it's me, at tea time, everybody agrees, I'll stand directly at the sun, but never in the mirror, it must be exhausting, always rooting for the
There you have it. That's my thought process behind the remix of Antihero. If you enjoyed this breakdown or have any questions, leave a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell button for more content. Thanks for watching.